A free hot meal at a Gurdwara or Sikh temple in Southall, West London, and there'll be similar scenes across the UK this week. It's all part of the religious duty to try and make sure everyone has a meal, regardless of their circumstances.
Sikhs welcome and embrace everybody to come into the temple and dine, despite what your background is, which we really admire.
Over the last few years, this Gurdwara has seen more and more people coming in for Langar because of money problems.
As the food bank situation is arising, everybody's welcome again. We have seen that, an influx of non-Sikhs, you could say, coming in, and Sikhs as well, obviously, naturally, coming in to share the food as well in the Gurdwara. And that is the role of the Langar. It is for those purposes that people maybe cannot have a hot meal somewhere else.
The Langar is paid for through donations and is prepared, cooked, served and cleaned up as part of voluntary service called Seva.
So we come here every day before school around 6. We wash dishes for like 15-20 minutes. It gives us a good start to the day, and because our minds are fresh, we can focus on our studies more.
There are over 300 Gurdwaras in the UK. They use approximately 400 tonnes of food, including rice and flour. That's almost 100,000 meals a week. A Langar meal is always vegetarian so that everyone can eat it. And traditionally it's always been served in the Gurdwara. But increasingly, Langar is being taken out to places where it's needed. The Sikh Welfare Awareness Team, or SWAT, were among the first to pioneer the idea. Twice a week, they take a van loaded with food onto the streets of London.
We started off with a homeless project in our local area. Started from one person approaching us, and then it went to 200 locally. From 200 locally, we then went out to see the wider community in central London to thousands.
Over the next few days, Sikhs are highlighting this voluntary work and free food as part of National Langar Week to encourage others to also give up their time and effort to help those in need. Shabnam Mahmood, BBC News.
Hundreds of thousands of free meals will be served up by Sikhs this week as part of a tradition known as Langar. It began 500 years ago in India to try to end the discrimination of the caste system. But in modern-day Britain, it's proving increasingly popular with the homeless and needy. Giles Latcham reports from Birmingham city centre.
On a chilly night on a street corner, a group of volunteers set out to warm hearts and bellies too.
Today we have fresh pasta, which has just been cooked. We have about 300 samosas here.
The foods come from a Gurdwara in Walsall, served up by Sikhs of all ages.
Part of our religion is helping others, sharing, so we thought we'd come along and help.
Langar means food, Langar server serving that food to others, more often in temples, but here on the street.
There are four guiding cornerstones to Langar server: hospitality, charity, service, and perhaps most important of all, promoting equality.
We go home and we've always got food to eat and live in a nice warm house. A lot of people don't, so it's nice for them to be able to come at least today or however many times they want to get some food and feel satisfied with that.
People like Sham, just turned 18, who's lived on the streets and battled drugs problems.
I personally think the people that are really homeless, we get swept under the carpet and no one really recognises us, and yeah, so this has actually helped us a lot.
This is everything to us. If this wasn't here, I don't know where it would be.
And the queue just kept lengthening, a sign of hard times.
Last year, this time, we was feeding up to about 70 people, 70 to 80 a night, and now I'd say between 150 to 200 people feeding a night.
This is National Langar Week, but these volunteers will be here night after night through the winter and beyond. Giles Latcham, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
My clothes, keep myself clean and all the rest of it. But I'm very grateful that I can eat something and it doesn't cost me, I have no money.
When you have that meal together, you break down the boundaries between yourself and the other, and that's part of Langar. And having it here in a Gurdwara is the ideal way. And I have met people, a lot of people here that come a lot. One of the quotes I remember, I spoke to this homeless person here, and he was saying that had it not be for Langar in Southall, and he wasn't even a Sikh, because the crime here would be much worse. Because when you're hungry and you're starving, you will do something for food.
What's the point getting done stealing a Kit Kat for the, you know, there's no point in it. Friend says, go to Gurdwara, you're in Southall, aren't you? He said there must be 2, 3 or 4 or something. Go there. Then you don't need to do that even if you're really stuck. So I haven't.
So you get old, young, women, men, you know, English people, whatever, whoever wants to can jump in, make chapatis, help clean plates, whatever you want, you're more than welcome to join in here. Poverty and the food banks, problems we see nowadays, I think people are resonating that it's a community need we're fulfilling.
It's open for everyone, and in here, everyone, there's no distinction. They don't stop you coming in.
Our philosophy is that if you're not going to eat the food yourself, don't serve it to anybody.
If somebody was to go to a shelter and get some food, they might feel a little bit awkward about that. But in a Gurdwara, everybody comes in Langar, so whether you're rich or poor, makes no difference. Generally in Langar, it's all vegetarian. What you'll have is chapatis, which are basically flat bread. And these are very healthy. And then there tends to be some kind of vegetable dish, whether it's cauliflower and potatoes or something like that. But there will always normally be a hot cup of tea or water. And there might actually be some fruit and some Indian sweets on top as well. There are a lot of people in Southall that take advantage of Langar and for what it was intended, to feed people who are hungry. However, the wider general public don't know that this thing even exists, and our hope is that people tend to realise that Sikhs do give free food. If they meet a homeless person, they can direct that person here to come and have some food. If they themselves want to come and have Langar, if people come to Southall for having a curry, why not try this? It's a sort of a different experience.